6 tips for maximising your time at university from the point of view of a senior executive with grey hair. Now, this was a question I was asked in a TikTok live recently, and I've been giving it a lot of thought, so here we are. Let's go. Tip number 1, work experience. This is one of the best times to go and get really good on-target work experience. It's perfectly fine to have a bar job or those kind of stuff, especially if you're paying your way through uni. But it's also a great opportunity to reach out to a local startup and start practicing, start getting practical experience, ideally on a weekly basis if you can. Tip number 2, networking. Make sure you're connecting with those in the years above, especially if in year 1, connect with year 2 and year 3. They're going to be ahead of you when you're going into work, right? So being connected with them, being able to ask for their advice, perspective, connections, really valuable. Don't forget university events. Don't forget talking with professors, lecturers, PhD students, anyone that's helping. Make sure you're connected with them, certainly on LinkedIn, and make sure you're developing relationships that are going to help you across your career. Any university event that's happening, make sure you're connecting with people there. And don't forget friends, family back home, right? Neighbors even back home, any companies they're working with, any connections they might have. Tip number 3, student societies. Not only are societies great for networking beyond your domain, your course, it's a really useful way of being able to show experience currently, as in I am treasurer, I am chairperson, etc., etc. Any position of responsibility can be really valuable to stick in your CV, and it's getting you experience with budget management, people management, leadership, and so on. Tip number 4, your CV. Get your CV ready and iterate, make it fantastic. Now is the time to be looking for gaps in your CV and then plugging them while you're still at university. Tip number 5, LinkedIn. Make sure you're developing your LinkedIn profile and make sure you're creating those connections, formalizing those connections that people you know at university, for example. Make sure you're connected on LinkedIn. Begin to think about your strategy for developing your connections on LinkedIn. Tip number 6, additional studies. Think about additional qualifications, project management qualifications, additional courses you could be doing, free or otherwise. There's plenty of free resources out there, especially from other universities. Think about improving your presentation skills, and also think about trying programming if you're not a current programmer. There we go. I've done deep dives on each of these topics, so please see my other videos. And if you'd like to discuss in more detail, join me in one of my TikTok lives.